Hi, dear friends and subscribers. Welcome to another edition of Cricket Happenings today. And in this part of the Cricket Happening show, I'm going to look at the beginning of the Test series between England and Sri Lanka, which was much awaited, as you know. And Sri Lanka, they made 289 for 8 at close of play on the first day. They really struggled, I would say, but their captain Mahela Jayawardene held their innings together and is still in fact he's not out on 160 odd, which I'll be talking about. So that is as far as Sri Lanka is concerned. 289 for 8. They finished off in a full day's play on the first day of the first Test match between England and Sri Lanka at Galle. And the other thing that I'm going to look for, or I'm going to talk about, is the third and final Test match between South Africa and New Zealand. Well, as you know, rain. There was rain. I mean, the players not gone the full distance, as you know, because of rain, and one would probably be thinking the match would be ending in a draw. But let me tell you, there's a lot of excitement there because yesterday, what South Africa did, even though New Zealand avoided the follow-on, they replied with 274 for 9, taking a lead of 201 runs, and now they are 200. Now, in fact, South Africans are batting, and they actually showed what they're going to do. It looked like South Africa have decided to attack because yesterday they raised up they played like a one-day international. They have raised 75 for no loss. The openers Alvaro Peterson and Graham Smith, 75 for no loss in 15 overs, and they're already 274 ahead. So probably South Africa would be thinking that they could just declare by lunchtime and give a target of say 350 to 370 to the Kiwis and tell them to go for it. And tomorrow is the fifth and final day, and so today is going to be the fifth and final day. It's going to be very interesting, according to me. And I think there's something interesting coming up there. Okay, let's get on to the first match, and I'm going to talk about the same match that I was talking about, that is between South Africa and New Zealand, where New Zealand, in reply to South Africa's score of 474 for 9, resumed at the overnight score, and they made 275 for 9, with openers Flynn actually making 45, 6 fours and 1 6. Martin Guptill made 59 with 6 fours. Brendan McCullum making 31 with 3 fours. There were contributions, but nobody was able to go to a big innings. Everyone were just contributing. Like Ross Taylor, it was very sad that Ross Taylor had to retire hurt. He was hit on the forearm by Mon Markle, and he had to go off, and he won't take any further part in the match. It's said that he has suffered a fracture of his forearm, which is very sad for New Zealand. And then Kane Williamson and Dean Brownlee actually they got a useful partnership, and they added some useful runs, with Dean Brownlee contributing 29 with 5 boundaries, was looking good. Even Kane Williamson was doing well, 39 with 5 fours, and then Daniel Vettori made 30 of 4 with 4 fours. But what was the real feature of the day as far as the New Zealand innings was concerned, or of this particular day was concerned, was a world record that went in the name of Vernon Philander. Vernon Philander had figures of 22 overs, 4 maidens, 81 runs and 6 wickets, and this is probably, I think it's 5th or 6th 5-wicket haul that he has had. 7 Test matches, and when he dismissed Doug Bracewell yesterday, was clean bowled. It was Vernon Philander having 50 wickets in just 7 Test matches. Now this is the second fastest. It has taken quite a while now as far as cricket history goes. 116 years back, there was an Australian who did this, and today Vernon Philander had a proud moment there when he disturbed the Doug Bracewell stumps, as Doug Bracewell was in 2 minds whether to leave or to play, and he was clean bowled for naught. And Vernon Philander was celebrating, and why not? What a phenomenal bowler he is. He keeps his line and length, not much of a pace. He can surprise you with a bouncer. He swings the ball, seams the ball, and what a player Vernon Philander is. 7 matches, 50 Test wickets. I think it was 5 or 6 5-wicket bags, and he already had 2 10-wicket hauls too. What a player! He is going at an average of 7 wickets per match. That itself tells you what a phenomenal player Vernon Philander is. There's none to stop him. In 7 matches, he has picked up 50 wickets, and as I said, it has happened after 116 years of Test cricket. 22 overs, 4 maidens, 81 runs, and 6 wickets. A phenomenal achievement. And bowling figures: Dale Steyn, 23, 8, 41, 2 wickets. Mon Markle was very, very intimidating. He bowled superbly. 20 over 6 maidens, none for 54. Merchant Delange, 1 for 74. So, as I said, New Zealand finished with 275 for 9, thus giving away a lead of 199 runs, even though they saved the follow on. As I said, South Africa, they went like a train. In 15 overs, they have raised 75 for the first wicket, with Andrew Peterson not out on 38. Of 42 balls with 4 fours and 1 beautiful 6 that he hit, and Graham Smith is not out on 34 with 4 boundaries. So it looks like South Africa 274 ahead. Today is the final day. If rain is not going to really come in, then well, I think South Africa is going for the jugular. They might probably declare at the score on 350 or 370 by picking some quick runs and then put it for the Kiwis to go for it. It's going to be a really interesting day here at the Basin Reserve in Wellington. Chris Martin, 6 overs, none for 24. Bracewell's 5 overs cost him 29. And Mark Lepsby, 4 overs bowled for 22 runs. Well, now I'm going to turn away my attention here to the first day of the first test between Sri Lanka and England, which started at Galle. And let's look at what happened there as far as Sri Lanka is concerned. Okay, please give me a moment here. I'm just trying to go into that. Yeah, Sri Lanka versus England. The first test match, Galle International Stadium. Sri Lanka Sri Lankans won the toss and actually elected to bat. They didn't have a good start. In fact, they lost their opener very quickly. Lairu Thirimani was the first to go with some swing for James Anderson, who bowled splendidly, got the ball to seam away, and Graham Swan had made no mistake. Lairu Thirimani was walking 3 of 12 balls. The next to go was Kumar Sangakkara. The very first ball that he faced, drawn into a drive there. Kumar Sangakkara, a bat hit the ball, and he was snapped up by Matt Pryor behind the stumps. He was gone for naught. After that, Tilakendra Dilshan received a beauty of a delivery from Stuart Broad, which bounced and seamed, and Tilakendra Dilshan edged it to Andrew Strauss for 11 with 2 boundaries. And that made the score look 15 for 3, and Sri Lanka were really struggling. And then there was a brief partnership between Thilan Samaraweera and Mahela Jayawardene, and Thilan Samaraweera was also looking good, but what a fate for Thilan Samaraweera as Mahela Jayawardene drove the ball. Anderson got a hand to it, and Thilan Samaraweera was caught short of the crease, and Thilan Samaraweera was ruled run out for 20 with 3 fours, and that made it 67 for 4. And Dinesh Chandimal came in and gave a good support to Mahela Jayawardene, who was batting well, and Prasanna Jayawardene, and it was Dinesh Chandimal who came in after the exit of Thilan Samaraweera. That was 67 for 4. It became 128 for 5 with Dinesh Chandimal out for 27. Samit Patel, who made his debut today, got the first test wicket in the form of Dinesh Chandimal, who went for a slog sweep, caught by Ian Bell for 27 with 2 fours and 2 sixes. Was very aggressive right from the word go. And also Mahela Jayawardene, with the way he was batting, he was the one who actually held the innings together. And if you see the score, out of 289 for 8, Mahela Jayawardene was left unconquered at close of play, batting on 168 with 24s and 3 sixes. What was good to see about Mahela Jayawardene, he didn't allow Graham Swan to settle. He went and clubbed him for a 6, and he also hit a beautiful 6 over long on of the bowling of James Anderson, which was good to see. Prasanna Jayawardene contributed 23 with 3 fours. Susan Ranade was run out for 12, and Rangana Heras was LBW ball, Patel for 5. So 289 for 8. Mahela Jayawardene was playing splendidly. He was improvising. He knew when to attack, when to defend, and that was what he was doing. And as you know, Mahela Jayawardene is the old war horse of Sri Lanka, and he is the one who has helped Sri Lanka to a position of, I would say, a position of just a semblance of respectability, because Mahela Jayawardene is batting 168 with 24s and 3 sixes. What is good is that the pitch already is showing signs of turn, and it could be that the Sri Lankan spinners could get a real chomp at the Englishmen. But well, early days. But Mahela Jayawardene has done a great job here, batting on 168. His boundaries were very, very good to see. His stroke making was absolutely brilliant. Chanaka Vellagadra is giving him confidence, giving him company not out on 10 of 18 balls with two beautifully hit boundaries of the bowling of James Anderson. 289 for 8 Sri Lanka finished with at close on the first day of the first test match between Sri Lanka and England at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. As far as in fact, Mahela Jayawardene, even though he got 168, he has lived a charmed life. He was dropped twice by Anderson, once in a difficult catch in the slips. Then he was dropped by Anderson of his own bowling. And then Monty Panesar, who bowled 23 overs, 142 runs and no wicket. The ball kept following him. In fact, Jayawardene hit a ball to backward square leg where, in fact, Monty Panesar actually got a hand to it and the ball went into the fence. That was one catch dropped by Monty Panesar, and Monty Panesar also was guilty of another catch drop immediately in the next over when he dropped a ball where he didn't judge it perfectly and he dropped it. So that was not good fielding from Monty Panesar, and in all I think England could have put up a much better fielding effort if they wanted to really capitalize on the early wickets that the English bowlers gave them. Well, James Anderson, 17 overs, 5 maidens, 3 for 56, bowled splendidly, I thought. Stuart Broad also a bit unlucky, 18 overs, 1 maiden, 1 for 66. Monty Panesar already talked about. Swan, 23 overs, 3 maidens, none for 92. Every batsman saw to it that they didn't allow Graham Swan to settle. And Samit Patel on his debut bowled very well, 9 overs, 1 maiden, 2 for 27. Now, on this note, as I said, the ball is turning, but slowly though, but you don't know, I mean, one does not know, the ball might take some appreciable turn over the remaining days. So even now, I would say that this, in the context of things, I would say that Mahela Jayawardene's knock of 168 is going to be proving crucial, and it would be good to see whether Mahela Jayawardene can actually get some more useful runs, or probably 325 odd with Mahela Jayawardene himself going on to a double century. It all depends on the tailenders who are there. Chanaka Velgara is looking good, but he has to lend him some support if that happens. And England will be definitely ruining 4 chances dropped of Mahela Jayawardene. But let us not take any credit away from Mahela Jayawardene's batting. Is absolute brilliance. He was improvising. He was leaving his crease to attack the spinners. 24s and 3 sixes. That really tells you the tale. That's it from me, your host Ram, for the Cricket Happening show for today. I'll see you all tomorrow. Thank you.